To me, to sacrifice, it was scary. I remember the day we were selling our house, we're leaping in the RV, and I'm pulling out, and I see this couple, and I mean, I just built a second story on the house. I had granite walk-in showers. I mean, I built my dream home. And now I never thought I was giving it up. And we're leaving, and I turned on the radio, and there was a song, and it said, "Burn the ships and cut the ties and walk away."
We've got to burn the ships, cut the ties, send a flare into the night. Say a prayer, turn the tide, dry your tears and wave goodbye.
It was like almost like I had this surreal feeling that God was telling me it's going to be okay. And I'm pulling out this dead-end street that the kids learn to ride their bikes on, that the kids grew up on. I had a little track in the neighbor's yard, and I see the U-Haul coming down the street, and I see the people happy as can be pulling up to my house and walking in, and I'm just crying, you know, because I'm like, I actually filmed Heidi a video and said, I can't believe how supportive you are to do this, because at the moment, you don't know if you made the right decision. Your family thinks, wow, he's lost it, you know, she's lost it, we've lost it, for dirt bikes.
Step into a new day. We can rise up from the dust and walk away. We can dance upon the heartache, yeah. So light a match, leave the past, burn the ships, and don't you look back.
Hi, I'm Brighton Richards. I'm 13 and welcome to the farm.
First of all, I didn't even know that this was a sport, that there was anything to actually like on two wheels that went fast like this. So we thought, oh, get them a four-wheeler, that will be fun, because I grew up on four-wheelers.
My first quad was when I was about 5, and my dad made me pay for it myself. So I asked my grandparents, and they gave me the money, and then I got it, and then I didn't get on it, and Canyon did, and yeah. I guess my inspiration for riding pretty much came from my dad. He probably wasn't the best rider, but he had a pit bike that we would ride, and I'd always see him and my uncles riding.
I started in my grandmom's backyard and I was 3, and then I started racing when I was 5.
Guy had dirt bikes, so he brought home an electric Razor, and Canyon was probably 3 years old maybe, and he put him on that and he drove around the parking lot, couldn't touch the ground or anything. So I guess right then and there we figured that he might like something on 2 wheels.
When we started, we really didn't know about racing. They both had little quads, and then it was little CRF 50s, and we actually did it backwards. We got a KTM 50, and then we got a Cobra 50, and then we went back to a P-Dub, and we didn't really understand what we were doing much. And probably me being obsessive compulsive, I jumped in because I saw it as something that the kids were good at. When he won Loretta's on a PW50, we started getting obligations. I think that kind of directed our future, because we got a glimpse of what it was going to take to be all in when it comes to being a pro, because you need to have a good mechanic. You need to be able to change top ends and have the money to change top ends if you're riding like 4 days a week. And all of the effort from a family that it would take. And right now, with us trying to build the house, we just decided that The money it costs to crisscross the country and do nationals like twice in California, you know, and all of these races started to become hard for us to do with the means that we have. We have to decide what can we do and be great at rather than be extended and not so good at. And so the Yamaha program was awesome. I mean, like, we were crying when we were hugging, you know, Ed and saying, hey, we're not going to be making it to California, but thank God that he could see it in our family, the stress that it was taking to be able to do the program, because it requires a lot.
Our thing with racing, we think of it one day at a time. The kids are enjoying themselves, and we did just buy all of this property a few years ago to race dirt bikes. But if that doesn't happen, during the last year, found out that our family comes over and they ride pit bikes all around all the time. We have huge bonfires outside. The kids sleep in tents and have sleepovers.
As I kind of got a picture of it over the last few years, Canyon being a factory rider, being under the tent, I realized it's work. Then I realized how he kind of got this far in talent. And so we went down there, awesome training facility, MTF, and I saw how they train. And it was like a huge wake up for us, because I realized that these kids are serious, this training facility is serious. It was a big deal. Like, that's what these kids do, and I never knew that, you know, because we would ride 1 or 2 days a week and then go to the races. I would like to have, instead of having Canyon under a semi-truck and Brighton at the trailer, my dream, you know, whether it happens or not, would be to keep them together, because I don't have to like move my toolbox around. I can, because I'm their mechanic, not even the best mechanic. But nevertheless, that would be cool, and I think it would be cool to pick cool races. I think if we could do that for a couple more years, and then if he decides that he wants to put the work in and become a pro, then he can do all that work. My great-grandmother and great-grandpop actually lived here, and we were just looking for a big piece of property. The front 30 acres was the 100-year-old farm, and I found that this was an old gravel pit, and so I tracked the guy down, went to his door, and we made a sacrifice and bought it. And we call it the farm because my family likes to hunt, so they all hunt out here, and my brother Steven would just always call it the farm.
Yeah, we have a turn track that we put clay on. It's really gumbo white clay. And then we have a supercross track, and then we have a couple pit bike tracks. My favorite jumps would be on the outdoor track, but I like it in the ruts in our front turn track. The sand is probably the funnest, because you just hold it wide open and just lay into the turns. Wherever you look, you go. You can go over any of the ruts, because they're pretty much berms. We got a freestyle setup in the back, sprinkler system, and we till it so it kind of gets like Georgia or down south. And then we have the sand track in the back, which is deep Southwick sand. And then we have like the pit bike areas, which is kind of like a mix of the gravel and a little bit of the sand. So year round, there's always something to ride.
Just one more hour, then I swear I am turning it off. I can't remember when I started, and I'm scared of the thought. The sun has gone down, I'm all alone now. It's time to face the truth. Maybe I'm still a child. Another minute and I'm looking at an empty box. I'm reaching new highs, but I'm the same guy.
everything's a race. Like, doesn't matter if we're in the gym or on the track or even eating dinner. Like, everything is competition between us.
Specialized also sponsors us, and they gave us 2 Specialized e-bikes, and me and my sister like to race each other through the trails across the street. And then I like to play with my RC 4-wheel drive rock crawler.
When we go to the river, go swimming, we just kind of play around. We're always doing something.
Almost every day I go out in our Caterpillar skid steer and I build pit bike jumps. Every day I do that.
These guys are on the go constantly. So really, dinner time, meal times are kind of the only times that we have downtime because they're on the go so much.
The sacrifice that it takes is everything. I mean, it's every dollar in your bank account. Mentally, you're always trying to impress sponsors. I mean, he got second at Loretta's 4 seconds in 3 years. And then this year, we trained harder than ever, and then it just didn't happen.
When the kids are on the line, I have every emotion going through me. I'm crying, I'm sweating, I'm shaking, I'm videotaping just to distract myself. My legs are shaking so bad that I can hardly stand, and I have to go to the bathroom. I have every emotion going on, and I'm praying constantly.
I think every kid's different, and I'm not sure how many years you get training at that level. And my goal right now is, like, I'm a dad that just never wants my kids to leave, you know, like I'm a big kid, and this is my favorite place to be on the whole planet. I just love it here. So if I can keep them as long as I could, that would be ultimately what I'd love. So if I can make this place the best so that they don't want to leave and they're like, hey, I want to put a house there or a house here, that would, you know, to me, being a pro just means that they leaves.
With traveling around the country in a very small RV, we're able to all still be together. With the 4 of us plus our little dog, there's only one room, and that's actually the bathroom in the RV.
Them being together is, like, I guess as a family, is our most important thing.
At any given moment, somebody is sitting in that bathroom for a timeout because there's no other place to go, there's no way to separate them, and sometimes they just love on each other a little too much.
I think suffering at this level creates character, because when I did have a successful brand development company, I remember thinking to myself, I hope these kids don't come out privileged. Canyon has to work. Like, if you want to ride the track, you're on the tractor. If you want to ride, you're changing your own air filter. I feel like the qualities that these kids are learning right now as a result of the sacrifices, regardless if they make it pro or not, are the kind of character building lessons I want them to have.